Are we on? I still got the left.
Still got it?
Are we on? Are we in? Damn. This is how we do it.
I wish I could get my vibrating going.
Damn. I still got it. I got one arm, but I still got it.
Rocking the one arm jam.
Yeah.
Rocking the Ducos. Oh, hell yeah, man. I'll get turned up.
Yeah. It's nice over here. Oh, man.
What's up, Jay?
What's going on, Kev?
Rocking them Ducos.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I kind of miss my brother around, but it's all right. I'll fill in his big
go ahead and pull this in, man, because you want to get that mic about a fist from your.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
So we can get a little bit of tone through the mic.
You're deep up in that bitch now.
Jeez, dude. Am I on TV or what?
Dude, I can't rock that voice. I can't do it for a very long period.
Just for a little bit.
Well, as you guys can see, Weller's gone. This is his brother. This is the middle brother.
In the house.
Jaws, dude.
House. Nope, no F word out of me, dude. But
dude, isn't it
pretty good?
Jason Alexander Weller?
Jason Andrew
Weller. I thought it was Alexander, dude, but
yeah.
That's good, dude.
Before we start, just give a shout out to the family, niece, nephew, everyone. What's going on? Stockton Jam Club. What's going on?
Tear it up. Whoever you got your shout outs, man.
Yeah, no, just let everybody know what's up. T-Bone always gets a shout out. Down in San Diego, probably hanging at the Swinger Park. Straight up. I caught him twice already.
You got a Swinger Park, dude?
I caught him twice there. I seen his car parked in the parking lot.
What were you doing down there?
I was just checking to see if his car was there, dude.
You got caught, dude. All right. So we'll say our what's ups, man. What's up to the Matts? Matt Nelson, Matt McNew, Matt Siegelkoff. What's up to DLKI, Boone, and Big Dan? What's up to Marcus, Marco, and CK75? New subscriber, Justin Jahan, Justin Jan, Justin JJ, straight just JJ. Sherry Newington. What's up to Kelly Marie Lossberg? My man Randy Rocha.
Nice.
What up to John D?
Rocha family, what up?
Yeah, what's up all the Roaches? What's up to Wendy Rowe? What's up to GG, Flo, David Allen Weller, Firefinger, B Sweet, Hyde, Three-Way, J and E-Rock. And then our special shout out guest this week goes to the first white girl in Galt to have her hair braided completely, all braids. She's part of Drama Club. I used to go see her up there and try to sneak a kiss here and there. But she's the owner of Noise 13 in San Francisco. She's the founder of pow.wow.network. She's a Galt girl, but she lives in San Francisco now. We'll say what's up to David Guth Miller Bradford and to her son Bo.
Yeah, what's up? Guth Miller's in the house. One of the Legion member in there too.
There we go. I'll roll this, dude. All right, man. So, what we got on top? Why don't we start off with something real light, dude? Let's hear that San Diego story, man, where you decided to hitchhike all the way from Lodi or Galt?
Galt. And we lived here in Galt our whole lives.
Yeah.
So I had to spring out, man. I've always wanted to just hit the road, be freelance it, hit the road. So got up in the morning, told my roommates that. Made a sign, said San Diego or bust, said I'm hitting Highway 99, I'm headed to San Diego.
What made you just think I'm going to San Diego today, dude?
It just hit me out of nowhere. I've been contemplating going down there. I got up that morning, I had a piece of cardboard and I started making a sign and thought it was funny and then said, hey, I'm going to use this sign, I'm out of here. And then it just became a challenge, hey.
To get down there, huh?
Oh, yeah. So I said, take me to the freeway. Take me to the freeway. We live right over here. So the buddies took me right here, 99 freeway, whatever exit that is, and C Street exit.
Central Galt, yeah.
Central Galt. So they got on and off the freeway 3-4 times, see me just standing there with the sign, thumb up, all happy. And freaking boom, got my first ride. The hippies picked me up, and they took me almost down to Modesto.
Oh, damn.
And then from there, I sat in the bushes and I burned one and drank me a little tall can, thinking how stupid I was. Stuck in Modesto, and then some illegal alien gave me a ride forever. And then he started pulling the frisky move, started kind of tapping me on the knees, kind of getting a little bit.
Oh, trying to touch, dude.
Trying to flirt a little bit, dude. So then I'm like, no, next exit, bro. Next exit, bro. Drop me off. So he drops me off. It's a truck stop.
Chow chilla.
It's getting late. I look over and I see these bushes around this median, and right in the middle of these bushes is a strip of green grass, pretty green grass. So I put my sleeping bag out, I laid back, put my pillow back, said I'll figure it out tomorrow how I'm going to get there. And about 2-3 o'clock in the morning when the sprinklers came on,
Oh, shit.
not cool, dude. Not cool, bro. So jumped up, got out of the sprinklers, and I'm standing there all sopping wet, pissed, mad at myself because what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
And I look over and there's a trucker sitting in his truck just laughing at me. He told me, he's like, that's the funnest thing I've seen in a long time, dude, to see you just jump up and scatter all your stuff and get out of the bushes. And he asked me, where you headed? I said, San Diego. He said, well, I'm not supposed to legally give you a ride, but I'll give you a ride. So I jumped in the truck and made it down to San Diego, and I stayed there probably, almost 7 years.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, didn't even come back to get the car I owned. Let him tow it, everything. Just young, dumb, and ready to go to Diego.
Once you got to Diego, dude, what'd you do? Get a job, or you just...
Nah, dude, no way. J-O-B? No. Actually, yeah, San Diego, I carried some pretty cool career jobs in San Diego. I worked a bunch of jobs. I'm a workaholic, so there wasn't a job I didn't work. I mean, it is what it is. But, yeah, no, it was fun. San Diego was worth it. I enjoyed it. I think what brought me back was cost, you know.
Yeah, it's big dollar down there.
Yeah, big dollars. And then you get back here and the cost is the same now. So it don't matter where you're at. It's just stuff's expensive.
Well,
now.
I was talking to Kenny Clarkson, man. Dude was telling me he's down to San Diego, right?
Yeah, KC.
But he just made a little swoop on the other side of the border in TJ. His rent went from almost 2 G's a month. In TJ, it was like $750.
Oh, yeah. And the beaches in Tijuana are beautiful, man.
Yeah. But just crossing the line, being in the U.S. or being in Mexico, it's paying 3 times less fucking rent, dude.
Yeah, safety, though. Safety is an issue. We just had those Americans killed over there. And, I've had a couple run-ins myself that were a little bit shady. But for the most part, I like Mexico. I believe in the Mexican people. But it is what it is. It doesn't run like...
For people that don't know, you are Hispanic, man.
Yeah. Mix,
Yeah.
Pocho. But,
you do. You got the Hispanic blood in you, man.
Yeah.
And Russian. You're Russian and Hispanic, dude.
Yeah, well, I tried calling myself a Mexican American, and my friend, he's a real Mexican American. He's a Mexican citizen and American citizen. He's a dual citizenship. So if you're around him, just don't be perpetrating. Don't be calling yourself a Mexican American if you're an American, because you're not from Mexico and you don't got paperwork.
Yeah.
And that's kind of we on the board.
Well, yeah, let's go ahead and close. I like that story, man. I'll put some hands on that, dude.
Yeah.
And then that'll lead us right into that Africans or African American. This is a topic you brought up to me during the week, and I throw down on it, man.
Well, the problem is I got a buddy, and I threw the African American at him. Well, hey, you're African American. He said, son, I've never been to Africa. I couldn't help an African community if I tried, and I ain't African, so don't. And so it confused me, because dark American people tend to call themselves African American.
I see where you're going, yeah.
But they don't know nothing about Africa. So how are you going to call yourself African American when you're just an American?
Yeah.
I mean, we got dark Americans, we got light dark Americans, we got light Americans, dark light medium dark, but we're all Americans.
Well, you got black French, you got black Irish, you got black Russians, right? I mean, there's black people that live all around the world. Why not black Americans?
Yeah. In fact, the other day I mentioned a gentleman, hey, you seen one dark American, you seen them all, because the dark American that was hanging out, he thought he was special or something. And the old man next to me looks over at me. He says, I come from a generation where there's niggers and whites, you know. And it made me laugh because you don't hear, you know, it's old school. That's how they did it. You know,
people don't talk like that anymore.
They were that dumb back in the day, so they were that ignorant. But it's just kind of cool to hear like an actual person who lived that way, talked that way. It was, you know, I'm not saying I agree with what he said. I just thought it was kind of cool to hear someone who'd been there, done that. He was raised at, they're niggers. You know, or whatever. So it was like, oh, okay. Well, I thought he was a dark American myself.
Well, I've been to, you ever been to Stockton 99 Speedway? Or go watch some races?
Back in the day.
Yeah, we were down there. Used to do it. It was fun for a Saturday night. Go have a couple beers, watch the cars race and this and that. But we got pit passes one time, and this dude was a baby blue car, number 13. And it had white numbers with red outline and really tight looking car, right? But these guys race, they rub and they bang and shit, right? But right on top of the driver's side, it has their name or their nickname, right? And he had it on his car. It said Nigga Charlie. Nigga, not ER, but Nigga Charlie, right?
Yeah.
And I asked him, I was like, man, why you roll like that? He's all, dude, that's who I am. I don't give a fuck. That's who I am. Like, he owned it. Like, he's taking it. Like, you can't use that shit against me because I'm using it myself. So fuck you. You know.
Hell yeah.
But he was about our age, man. I mean, he was. I was probably 30, 33 at the time, something like that, and he was too.
Yeah.
So he wasn't old enough to have lived that 1940s or 1950s America lifestyle.
Yeah. It's been a while. I mean, the generations have changed, the attitudes have changed, that the chains are broken, and it is what it is. Like, personally, the dark skin person is dominant because they got traded in every country, including their own, you know, the slaves. So you got dark Canadians, dark colored Americans. You go to Mexico, you got a dark colored, you know, you think you're talking to what we call black skinned person, but he said, hell no, I'm a Mexican.
Yeah, or Dominican Republic, there's another one.
Yeah. So I guess to me, I kind of look at the paperwork wise. In college, I have a professor, his name's Mr. Jackson. He is a dark American, and what he said was science says that all of our science started in the African region, the chromosomes, the cells, and all that stuff. So what I was wondering, I mean, then everybody can call themselves African American. We're all black.
Well, you could do the DNA test, but that's what happened, man. Is even if because when the Earth was Pangea, like you could tell all the continents used to fit together, right?
Yeah.
Africa would be the center of that, you know?
Yeah.
And then as it spread out over billions and billions of years, it spread out. I mean, I think Homo sapiens, or our type of people that we are now, have only been around like 150,000 years.
Yeah, it's tough to say because, I mean, that storm we had, the typhoon moved, it moved that country 3 feet closer in a half hour.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of science says it takes a long time to move a country like that, but we don't know what happened, you know, how maybe the country's moved all in one day.
Well, I've heard about the polar tilt, too, where the Earth spins off its axis like every 3,000 years, right? And the next time it happens, Antarctica and the Arctic are going to be on the equator.
Yep.
Right?
That I believe. I believe the oceans the waters will take us because they change grounds.
Carry it a second. I heard somebody in the house right there.
Uh-oh.
I know. Did you hear the dog?
Oh, maybe. But,
Who's in here?
yeah, just give a shout out while Fraser's taking care of business. Just give a shout out to everybody out there in the world watching. Keep up with the podcast. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun talking to you people and
it's a good time, huh?
all that good stuff. So you back?
Yeah. I don't know who it was. They left.
You're gonna have to leave that up to security.
Dude,
Where's the security guard at?
I got the Mastiff, the Rottweiler, and the Queensland. And believe me, the little one's the only one that bites. It's funny because she's little, but she's the one that bites, dude.
Yeah. That is funny.
I don't know whoever showed up, but they left, so that's all good. But what were we talking about? Oh, Africans or African American?
Well, not just African Americans. You got people. They say they're Australian. You meet them, they say they're Australian. You know.
Yeah.
they're third generation Australian. They ain't never been to Australia. They ain't got no paperwork saying they're Australian.
Yeah.
They're American. You know, I don't really like the perpetrating part, but I have in the past been one of the ones to say I have Mexican American or I'm German American. And over time, I've learned to kind of lay off on that because we're all Americans no matter what.
I think you're American first, and this is what I try to tell Weller, your brother. I try to tell him all the time, dude. I am a Native American. I am.
Yeah.
I was born in Lodi, right?
Yeah.
I'm a Native American. I was born here. This is my country. This is where I'm from.
Yeah.
My ancestors might have a different story. My heritage might have a different story. But my story starts here in America, and it makes me American because I was born here, dude.
So kind of what I'm getting at all this is we're all black, but because you were born in Lodi, you don't have to be black no more.
Quite possibly, dude.
That's what I'm thinking, bro.
All right. Let's see, man. How about we talk about some pain, dude?
What you got on the board?
That's what I'm saying. I think let's quarterback to pain, dude, because I've been in pain myself. This Thursday, I'm going in to see a surgeon about getting a surgery on my shoulder, right?
Yeah, which I don't recommend.
But like, what happens is people see you being normal, doing your own normal shit, and they don't recognize you're in pain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just because you're talking, you're going about your business, doing your stuff. And for me, I spend 98% of my time down here where I'm comfortable. Because if I got to raise my hands up to change a light bulb or do some shit like that, that's when my pain is fucking
boom.
Bam. I mean, it's pounding, dude.
The neck, bro.
But what I'm saying is the pain, people can't see it, right?
Yeah, you know, with pain comes a whole lot of it changes your diet, changes your demeanor, it changes the way you sleep, changes the way you live your life, like
the way you react to things.
You know, a light bulb's got to be changed. I mean, you're hoping that your kid comes around real quick to change it out because, but yeah, no, I've been in pain 6 years. Woke up paralyzed about 6.5 years ago, and with a spine injury, and it's irritating because you're up in the morning, you're happy to be up, but you're pissed because you're in pain. You're in a bad mood. Your body's hurting. You're having your coffee. And you know you're happy, but you're pissed. You're angry because your body's in distress. And then you know you have people saying, "Man, what's your problem? What's your attitude?" You know what? And yeah, I get tired of explaining it, but I just say, "Hey, my body's in distress. Chill." You know, because it's just it's going to be a negative vibe coming. You know, a nervous vibe, and someone's expecting you just to be happy, but your pain's popping. So,
I'm still fortunate enough where I can go there. Like if I had to throw something, I could throw it. You know, if I had to do something, I could do it. But then, like I played pool with my dad the other night and my son, and the next morning I woke up, dude. It felt like somebody just sat there and gave me a Charlie horse. You know, straight as when you wake up in the morning, that's the first thing you're waking up to, right?
Oh yeah, I like I said, I have high levels of pain. I've been hospitalized 7 times for it just because it got so bad nobody could figure it out. Now we're on top of it, but thing is you get older, you start wearing your body parts out, and sometimes surgery helps. I'm not going to say it's not going to help you, but I have the best surgeon in the state, and it's just going to be a big surgery game for me. It's going to be 3-4 neck surgeries, 3-4 arm surgeries, new shoulders, all this stuff. So you're looking 10 surgeries, 10 years out, 15 years of living with drugs and surgeries. I'm not into it. My physical therapist said, "Hey, Jason, how do you deal with it?" I said, "I have a tall can of beer and sometimes a little stick of some weed, and I feel pretty good." She said, "Jason, then that's what you do."
That's self-medicating, yeah, dude. And I've tried it. I've this past year when I was off, I thought I was going to be off for a minute. So I started to smoke the weed. I went to the cannabis club with my dad.
Yeah.
Got some edibles, got some CBDs, got some cream.
CBD's good, but CBD's not exactly for high levels of pain. It's like an inflammation. So it's like if you have a pain that's high enough to be hospitalized, the CBD is just going to take some inflammation pain from you. But those patients need to use the marijuana that has the force.
What it did for me was it didn't help. It didn't help me.
All right.
I got a head change. I got loaded. I was high and shit, but it didn't help my pain, and I was really kind of upset with that because I thought this was going to be the answer for me. Is I'll be able to burn one, and feel good, and maybe be able to go paint or fucking do whatever I got to do. But it didn't help.
Well,
and then
what I've learned, everybody believes that, but drugs are just a way of being able to step to the side of the pain. If you're sober and you're full of pain, you're just stuck there and you're focused on it. Your subconscious is focused on it. But you go take a pain pill, for example, it tricks your mind to saying that your body don't hurt. So you get a little bit of relief.
Yeah, what I've seen with the pain pills, because I take pain pills now, is that they kind of reroute it. Yes. Like instead of going straight and saying pain in my shoulder, it kind of just reroutes it to a different way. So like you said, it's not curing it, but it helps alleviate some of the pain.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to step to the side. But over time, what I learned is mind frame. You got, especially high level of pain people, you got to stay positive, mind frame.
Yep.
Believe that you're okay and healing. And then just try not to overdo the drugs. I mean, yeah, you're going to need some drugs. I've been told if I didn't take drugs, I'll die from my injury because of how bad that it will hurt. But I just, like I said, my therapist said, my surgeon's the best in the state. He said, Jason, if it takes a cold beer and a little bit of herb, then that's what you do, because there's no sense in sewing a bunch of stuff up on your body when you're older and we're not sewing it up so I can go work a job. Let's not forget, So.
Well, I'm 3 surgeries deep on my right shoulder, and 3 surgeries hasn't fixed it. It's still fucked.
Okay.
So going into it with my first shoulder surgery on the left shoulder, I already anticipating like it's probably not going to work, but I'm hoping maybe it goes from 70% to like 40.
Yeah. I wish I had my sample on me, but if you take, for example, a woman's rubber band they put in their hair all the time,
yeah,
and they keep putting it in their hair and putting it in their hair and putting it in their hair, well, that rubber band stretches out.
Elasticity
stretches out, and then they just throw it away and they get a new rubber band. Well, your rubber bands are stretched out, and the longer you work, the worse it gets. If you do repetitive motion, it's going to be severe.
27 years, bro, wrenching, dude.
Yep, it is. It's a fine game, man, because sometimes surgery helps, sometimes it don't. But I mean, if you really think about it, if you have a stretched out rubber band, we don't. I guess we tie bungees and knots, right? We tie the bungees and knots when they get too long.
Well, that's what I got here. I got 3 screws, and then I got a rubber band that goes around here, and one that comes around the back.
Which is an idea. Maybe they can tie it in a knot, kind of tighten it up.
Well, I still have mobility. Like, I can even bowl. I mean,
all right.
Down here, I'm all right.
Yeah.
But going up above, that's where my shit hurts, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about you. You got a shoulder injury, though, right?
My right arm's halfway dead. It carries coffee. That's about it. If I can get whatever the object down to my hand, then I can get the hand working, which it hurts, my neck and arm. But, yeah, I have a permanent damaged arm, and there's really not a lot we can do about it.
Is that your magic hand too?
Well, that's the only time I use it.
It can't work down there still.
Straight up. ain't catching me, dude.
Hey, but on the side note, I was telling you, man, I tried ketamine. I've tried ibuprofen, the 800 milligrams. Gone through a plethora of drugs. I did cocaine, man. I thought maybe cocaine would help me. It didn't. And then with the Norco, it works the best for me because I've tried Percocet, I've tried oxycodone. Those type of drugs, the higher dosage, all it does, man, is make me go to sleep, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fighting it like
I don't recommend it. The doctors don't recommend taking pills for long term.
Yeah.
Even Tylenol. Tylenol will wreck your kidneys, liver. It's one of our biggest reasons we have so many liver transplants, kidney transplants. That's all from long-term Tylenol pills
or drinking.
Ibuprofen. A lot of it's, if you look into it, most of it, because they're drinking, but they're taking pills while they're drinking.
You shouldn't do that either.
Yeah. So a lot of it stems back to that man-made pill that's supposed to fix you goes in there, and it doesn't come out right. So it is what it is.
Well, I'm like you. I'm down for the herbs and stuff, and maybe when I could smoke herbs without any repercussions or actions from my job.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll also help because then I could be free in my mind. Like I could smoke and be free, because
I'm disabled, retired. It's easy to do. I don't gotta sweat. Well, I mean, actually, I just took my AAA life insurance test. I passed flying colors. I quit I was eating the weed, so I passed no smoker,
Yeah.
you know, and good health. But yeah, so it is what it is. It's how you do it. You got to manage it, manage your pain. I got a doctor that helps manage my pain. I think I got a doctor for everything now. So
Dude, they're all specialists. You don't go to one doctor and he does it all. They're all specialists now, dude.
Oh yeah.
But there are thousands and thousands, millions of people out there in pain, and like I still work. I still go to work. I can't do my old job, but I got a new job. Learning it's all computer stuff, and you know I got to reinvent myself. But I'm not ready to give up, dude. I'm 45. I still got at least another 10 years to go, man.
Keep pushing. Keep plugging in there. I wasn't in a rush to retire either, and I mean I enjoy it. I enjoy my days off. I've been traveling a lot. I've been doing. I know my daughter. Before I would just be the wine guy or the Pepsi guy, but now I actually have a relationship with my daughter and stuff. So there's some good to the physical disability. But if you're out there and you have pain, just take it easy. We know you're hurting. Some other people besides your family that says you're faking it, other people out here, we actually know that you're hurt, and push through. Keep doing what you do.
That's legit, man. That's good advice too, man, because it ain't going away.
No.
It's gonna be there again tomorrow.
That's right. That's right.
Well, how about we set the record straight on homosexual? Because last time you were on the show, man, what I got from it was if you were having sex out of wedlock, then you were considered a homosexual.
Well, through my interpretation.
Through your interpretation, yeah.
My interpretation is a form of homosexuality. So, but you got to remember, God said there's us and there's them. It's the ones in the middle we got to be concerned about, because they are going to be there and there's going to be us. But thing is I don't want to like start dating some girl and them just include me in the group. You know, if we're not married and I'm just there, you know, eating the vitamins, and then, you know, now they're calling me homosexual because I don't have like the cert or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but that's my gig. It is what it is. We just gotta push through. We work together. You know, any of that stuff going on, we send it over there. If it's family orientated, it's on my side.
Well, that's what I was trying to say, or to explain to your brother, is that it's his terminology he's using. It's just
Dave's
different.
A homosexual.
He's married.
He's not married, though.
Oh, yeah,
not
right.
officially married.
Yeah, you're on paper. You're right.
So he's officially, like in my interpretation, he's a homosexual. But I'm believing that he don't really know he's a homosexual. You know what I'm saying? It's the heart thing.
Well, see, when I hear homosexual, I'm thinking of two men together or two women together, right?
Oh, okay. Well, I thought that was the gay scene. They got the LRTGBT.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But usually that's generally what a homosexual is, right? Is for me, when I hear that, I hear man on man. So when you threw it at me, I was like, what is he going at? But then I realized you're saying out of wedlock, Well,
see, I thought they came up with the LGRT or whatever, however you say it. I thought they came up with it because they disagreed with the homosexuals. They didn't want to be homosexual, but they just like wanted one boy instead of like all the boys.
Well, you see, what they like to do is categorize people or put them in boxes. So you have lesbian, gay, transsexual, LGBT. Q is queer.
Yeah.
I is there's more letters now. They put more letters in there.
Well, and I think they do it to themselves. I've kind of seen them do it to themselves because they don't want to be like homosexual. You get what I'm saying? It's just a little piece of it, but it's a little confusing to me. Now we have these married monogamous relationships. You have 3 dudes and 4 women, like taking
polygamy.
2 kids.
Yeah, polygamy, man.
So it's different to me. Like I mean, I never had to grow up that way. I never had to call 4 dudes dad and like watch them all go hide in a bedroom and stuff like that. I never had to live through that kind of stuff. So I can't judge on this stuff. But yeah, life has changed. Its history says that's going to happen. So
see, and and I hear about that judging and stuff, and I think what people fail to recognize is eventually you're going to be judged the way that you judge other people. right?
That's good.
And they don't step back and judge themselves before they judge other people.
Yeah.
I've done it. I've judged people. I mean, and probably shouldn't have, you know.
And I've made gay jokes and, you know, maybe a transgender joke here and there, but it's for fun. It's not that, you know, I mean, I hate the people or nothing like that. I like I said before, I dislike the lifestyle because it just brings disease. It doesn't promote like health, like it don't promote the family atmosphere to me.
Well, what I was saying is I had this conversation with one of my nieces who's gay, and I told her, like, if everyone was gay, right?
Yeah.
If everybody in the world was gay,
Yeah.
there would be no humans 100 years from now. There would be no humans because a man and a man can't have a baby.
No.
A woman and a woman can't have a baby, right?
Yeah.
So you would have no children in 100 years.
Yeah. And keep in mind, like I said before, 2 clean poops can make hepatitis or make disease that we don't even have yet. So like it typically runs in those gay male relationships because over time, you know, they're you know how we do it. We're trying to get the girl and put it right in the little thing while they're trying to do their thing, but in the wrong freaking in the sphincter, bro. In the sphincter.
Booty love, dude.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's not me, bro. It's not me. I'm just being honest. It's not me, dude.
Dude, I had it. My old lady had me. I was tied up on the bed with the handcuffs, right?
Yeah.
And we'd done that. We got did some freaky stuff, but she tried to put it in my exit.
Oh.
She tried to put some fingers and
That
stuff
hurts,
up there,
dude.
and
That
I was
hurts.
like,
that hurts, dude.
I was like, look it. Everything's cool except that. Don't fucking go there, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't want no part of it, man.
Jeez. I mean, if I was in the heat of a moment with her or something, I might throw a little kiss on there or something, you know. but I'm just being honest,
Dude. If it's right out of the bath or the shower and it's all clean and nice, dude.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
It is what it is.
What's
bro.
wrong, man?
It is what it is, bro.
A little extra flavor, dude.
Yep. I quit playing around. I'm not even gonna go into it. I never did that.
The camera can tell, dude. You can't lie to yourself,
Not
bro.
me. Not me. No way.
It was a different personality.
Yep.
I don't know. Hey, if you want to get freaky, get freaky. That's all good. And that's another thing to me, man. Is
what they want to do. Okay?
You know, they had a straight parade. It was a straight pride parade down.
I heard about
down
that.
in Turlock. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had
people getting together.
straight people having a little pride in being straight, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was crashed. The parade was crashed by a bunch of LGBT people came in and started protesting.
See, that's not right. That's not right. Do you see us crashing LGBT walk? Come on, man. That's not right.
But by the same token, to me, all it is, and I explained this to my niece too. I said, look, the only difference between you and your girlfriend being lovers and being gay, or you and your girlfriend being friends, is that you're having sex.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're actually bringing these sexual acts to light, and they're praising it.
Look at what we do. You know, this is how we do it. So
yeah,
I get it. I've had some gay acquaintances that I've known in the past.
Yeah.
And they push it. They bring it out and let you know. And it's like, hey, man, as much as I don't want to know about yours, I don't want you to know about mine.
Yeah.
I tend to leave sexuality out of when I'm with people, out of it, because more people are sensitive to it. Some people are flamboyant about it. So I kind of leave it, you know, on the, you know, down low.
Well, like, let's say I was into fisting, or I was into toes, or anal plugging, or
the toe stuff's kind of cool. I like the toe.
Well, I'm just giving you an example of anything like that, right? Why would I want to push that up and tell everybody, hey, I'm into fucking anal fetishes or whatever, right?
Yeah. I don't want to know, Kev.
Yeah,
I don't want to know.
that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, that's something that should be left alone, and people shouldn't even have to know about it. Yeah. But when you're straight up coming out and telling everybody right off the bat, hey, I'm into anal plugging or whatever.
Some of it's the society they're living in. Probably the local society's not quite like a gay supporter society. So to them, it's, you know, they feel a little bit oppressed, a little bit picked on. So they're flamboyant. They speak it out. They yell it and stuff. But
well, you know this from other countries, bro. Look at America is pretty pretty cool on it. Like we don't kill gays for being gay, right? We don't persecute them for put them in jail for being gay. No more. Yeah, don't do any of that stuff. Yep. But you go to these other countries, like any of the sand nations over there in the sands.
Yeah.
You can be put to death for being gay. They throw them off the top of buildings and shit, dude.
Oh yeah, no, they're pretty severe in some countries. They don't play.
Even in Japan, it's a real taboo, man.
I've in the past, I forget where I read the article, but there's a tribe that prays and fasts that homosexuality takes America because they're in their religion. They're pissed at America. The Americans are the devil.
Oh yeah.
So they pray and fast that will take our nation because past tribes, for some reason or other, the homosexuality and all that wrecked the tribe. So they're pushing it. But
well, you know Sodom and Gomorrah, right? The story in the Bible.
Yeah.
The whole reason that God wrecked that town, man, was because of sexual stuff, man. I mean, they're having big ass orgies. They're having sex with animals, sex with children, men on men having sex. I mean, you're reading the Bible about why they wrecked that, dude, and that's what happened, man.
Yeah, just it becomes priority of it becomes part of the focus of the leadership. It becomes how they decipher how they're gonna help an individual over here, what kind of sex he's having, and when you do that, it's not good. It's not good. That the sexual portion of your decision making, it should never be
public. I don't think it should.
Your decision making.
Yeah, I don't think it should be public.
I don't care what Trump did in high school. If the Dems want to get him, I mean,
yeah.
I don't think he did it, but I mean, if he sucked up the wrong vitamins, maybe he did. I don't know, but I think the Dems were trying to get him for it.
Dude, they've been trying to get him for anything, dude. Well, let's crush out that phone for Okay, so you just started hitting on Trump. Let's get on some Trump talk, dude.
Yeah, let's bring up Trump for a minute.
This guy don't get enough coverage, so let's give him some here, dude.
I just want to give Trump some positive coverage because the Dems, they be picking on like schoolyard bullies, dude.
Dude, since day one, like after he was inaugurated as president, right? Yeah. Day one after that, they're like, we need to impeach him.
Yeah, and it is what it is. None of that stuff affects me, but what's irritating is when you have someone in charge, whether you want to agree or not, Trump is the president and he's in charge. And then you're supposed to be the support group, and you're spending your time saying that he said the wrong thing here, or he did this in high school, or whatever the case, he touched some girl when he was 17 or something. So the main thing is you gotta get over that stuff, man. You gotta keep.
Dude, it's been 3 years, and here's what's gonna happen: their mind is gonna be blown again.
Yep.
When he's reelected.
We're hindering progress. The Dems hinder progress. It's stupid. Like these people, they're going to spend their day talking about how to get the boss.
Yeah.
Why can't the second class citizen, to me, like, because Trump's the first class, and then you got your helpers, the second class underneath. They're supposed to support him, and then that actually helps us as people. But when we have, a portion of Congress that's stuck on picking on someone because they have red hair, it's weird.
Dude, this guy, okay, what was one of the first things they tried to get him for? He was in a bus with another dude, and they're talking pussy talk, right? They're talking about girls and stuff, and he's like,
kind of a setup, I think, too.
Well, he said something like, I like to grab him by the pussy, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, right there, straight up, anybody that's been in a locker room or hanging with your boys, you talk mad shit.
Especially if that's the topic.
That's what you're talking about, yeah.
I'm kind of proud of him, dude. At least he didn't say I like boys. He straight said, I'm eating the right vitamins. I'd like to touch them.
Straight up, dude. So they tried to get him on that. That didn't crush him, right?
No. Heck no.
Then they come up with this Stormy Daniels thing, like, he was banging a porn star while his wife was pregnant.
She's hot, too.
Dude, 20 years ago, she was even hotter.
Yeah, she's cute.
So he's in infidelity in a marriage. He's having... Tons of guys do that. That's not my game. Knock on wood, I don't play that kind of game.
I'm being honest. If it happened, it happened. There's really no proof on it, but that doesn't matter. He was nominated president. We need to move on.
Yeah, he paid her off, so he boned her. And there was another playmate that he was with that he boned. And his wife is hot as hell, dude. Ivanka.
She's fine. She's fine.
Dude.
I think she likes me like undercover a little bit.
Dude, just
the way she gives me the eye on the evening news, bro.
Dude, she's hot, dude. I mean, she's smoking
cute.
hot.
She is cute.
But she probably knew getting into it with this guy that he's a playboy, he's a player, right? I mean,
Yeah.
their relationship is probably just kind of like Bill and Hillary, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Bill and Hillary are into it for love because they love each other. They're into it for what's going on.
If anything, if there was some infidelity, it's made their marriage stronger, and then they're better people for it, and they're strong parent, club like for us. It's the number one family.
Let's keep rolling on it. So they tried the Stormy Daniels thing. It didn't work, right?
Okay.
So now they got this Russian collusion stuff that went on for 2 years. And believe me, they went back everything they could possibly get on this guy.
That will always go on. The Russians will always collude, dude.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if there was anything he done wrong, they would have found it. They definitely would have found it, man.
Oh yeah.
100%, they would have found it because they poured like $45 million into this operation, right, and came out with nothing.
Yeah.
So now they're trying to take this phone call, which he released. They didn't think he was going to release the phone call to the public, but he did. He released it to the public, which squashed their game.
Yeah.
And it's never ending, bro.
From what I've heard on the phone call, he simply asked about crime, and he
that happened in 2016. It had nothing to do with 2020.
There's no quid pro quo going on, and first of all, we shouldn't give the quo. If you're asking me, but if you're giving quo, then let him figure out the quid.
Well, look at, dude, what happened on the tarmac when Obama dropped $150 billion with a B, $150 billion to fucking Iran, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What are you talking about there? Well, how come that wasn't in the news? How come that's not getting blown up, dude?
Yeah.
Why are you giving some other country $150 billion, dude?
It's crazy. Crazy.
This is what pissed me off too, Jay. Is we're $22 trillion in debt, right?
Yep. Got kids going wrongfully without food, all that.
Yeah, we're $22 trillion in debt, right? How are we giving away $150 billion when we're in debt?
Yeah,
We're giving money away that we got to pay fucking interest on and shit, dude. I mean,
yeah.
There's a fucking Wizard of Oz thing going on where somebody's behind the curtain, bro, and we just don't see it.
Someone's got to put their foot down. That's what Trump has done. He's came in, he's put his foot down and said America's first. I've heard him say it repeatedly in the news. The Americans count first. I don't know why that hurts the Dems' feelings, but can't Dad take care of us, please? Because I mean, come on.
Dude, this guy, he's trying to hold his campaign promises. Most politicians don't do that, right?
Yeah.
And Obamacare would have been fucking thrown out the door if McCain would have voted yes. But he didn't. He went in there and said, no, fuck you, Trump.
Yep.
He did that with his own personal hatred towards Trump when Trump's trying to help the American people, dude.
Yeah. I mean, on the healthcare situation, I think we hit on it last time. That if everyone had healthcare like the Canadians have healthcare, we'd have a better America. And I was hoping when Trump started keeping our checks, I was hoping he kept my check. And I'm one of the ones who wanted to give my check until everyone had healthcare, because it doesn't take that long if there's so many of us service people, and he collects up our checks, and everyone will have good healthcare, and it'll solve some of the homelessness.
Well, here's what's up with that too, bro, is if you just simply let hospitals from Nevada compete with hospitals in California, the price would go down because now you have competition across state lines, right? Just like car insurance. I get my car insurance from Massachusetts or Maine, right?
Yeah.
But I pay hella low rates.
Yep.
Because I'm able to search other car insurance providers out of state. So if you can search medical providers out of state, let's just say you had a shoulder operation and it's $120,000, right?
Yeah.
But you can go get the same operation in Texas for $50,000.
Okay.
Why not? That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but see, here's the deal. I get what you're saying, but it shouldn't be that way. We're too far of a people, and we know too much about ourselves that we know we need health care, period. If you look at the other country, France, for example, and the good thing about having nationwide health care is the guy that never goes to the doctor because the dad that never goes and then dies young because he never went, he'll likely to go at least get a checkup because everybody can go to the doctor.
Preventative health care works.
And those ones that go every week, because we got Medi-Cal, we could go every week. Once they say, oh, you can go anytime you want, and they feel that, they end up not going as much. It's not as fun to go anymore because...
Well, I've had 11 broken bones, bro. I've had 5 surgeries. I've had over 200 stitches. Jeez. So I've been to the emergency room plenty of times.
Oh, yeah.
When I used to go to the emergency room, that's what it was. It was an emergency room, right? Like, I got a broken bone. They're going to set it, put me in a cast, get me going, right?
Yeah.
But now you go to an emergency room now, you got kids in there, they got the sniffles, or somebody has a headache, or, their knee's been hurting for 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These aren't emergency room situations, but people use the emergency room in California because it's covered. They're covered.
That's the only way they're going to get help. They like to get help, but
that needs to change right there.
I'm just telling you, if we get universal health care for the people, it'll eliminate some of our homelessness problems. But it's too smart of a concept for these dummies to grasp it. It is what it is, and be honest, I've noticed wealthy people are against it because they don't want government control and all that. But all of a sudden, they get cancer, and then they got to go get treatments, and then it's like, well, I can't afford all this. Well, that's why I was saying, just because you're rich with cancer doesn't mean you should go broke and lose everything.
No, I think there's a happy medium there somewhere, but I think honestly, opening it up to where people can fight over who you're going to choose as your provider.
Universal health care is done here for the veterans. So by the time I was 17 years old, when I signed up for Marine Corps, I earned full medical benefits for the rest of my life. So I've never struggled without a doctor. I don't know what it's like. But thinking about what it would be like is heartbreaking. So that's why I know, like, I hope it on the Americans. There's no reason why we can't afford it. Trump's got us. Trump came out and said we stole the oil, so now he's got me caught up with God, dude. So now I'm a thief. So now that I'm thieving oil, I mean, we need to take some of that money.
Well, if you look at now, man,
break bread, bro.
This past year was the first year we became energy independent, and because of fracking, that's why, man. We got enough shit here in America to take care of America. We don't have to buy shit from other places.
Yeah.
And another one I'll get.
But we took those oil fields many years ago, and we've never really tapped them. They're ours.
Well, look at Alaska. Look at the Gulf of right here in Texas. The Gulf out there, dude. Yep. Off of California, there's several sites where they could drill oil. I mean, it's abundant, dude. I think the Earth keeps producing oil. I don't think it's a fucking thing that's going to be used up and gone. I don't think it's dinosaur bones.
I don't think it's dinosaur bones either. I don't really know enough about how the oil is produced to say that, but what I do know is he mentioned about getting Chevron and different companies over there to drill more drastically. Right now, we're just barely tapping it, but they got to do something, man, because all that stuff means that we can keep America great. And I mean, why not?
Here's something that came to light on me too, man. Was with these fires in California, I heard one of these fire chiefs talking about it. He said, we used to take care of the forest. We used to remove the underbrush in these trees way out in the national forest and shit. They would clean that shit out. They had logging programs. They, took down dead trees and all this shit.
The prisoners.
Yeah, exactly. Prisoners used to go out and work that shit. So did CDF. They had a kids cadet thing where, because my buddy Sean was in it, they go in and cut down these trees and shit, right?
Yeah.
And it helped. It helped to mitigate the damage that was done when a fire is started.
Yeah.
But now California is in a process where all the wood we buy, you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, 84 Lumber, wherever you go, all that wood is from out of state. Right?
Yeah.
That's bullshit, man. We have so much forest here in California where we should be able to cut these trees down, patch them up.
I'm pretty sure that stuff's pretty regulated. You gotta, so many lots are picked in so much time. You can't just pick all the trees at once. We'll kill ourselves with no air. But
no, I think they went through. I heard a number that there was like 12 million trees that had rot or were dying trees in California, right?
Yeah.
And there's something like 400 million trees in California, but you got these 12 million that need to be cut. They need to be taken out.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing with these fires. They're always trying to save the spotted owl or the white-tailed deer or whatever the animal is, right?
Yeah.
Well, now with these fires, all them fucking animals are dead.
Yeah, yeah.
All your conservation you're trying to do to keep these animals are dead because of the moves you made by not taking care of the forest.
Getting it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Well, shit, dude. Let's
catching on to that.
let's fucking let's keep on Trump here because we're doing some Trump talk, right?
Yeah.
So my boy hit me up the other day and he's like, Dad, I'm pretty sure more people are going to vote this time than they did last time, right?
Yeah.
And he tells me, and my son's 25, so he's like, Dad, I think the reason more people are going to vote is because they want to get Trump out of office. And I told him, I said, you know what? I agree with you on the point that more people are going to vote.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be even more of a landslide this time for Trump than it was before, because last time people were secretly voting, like, oh, I voted for Trump, you know, or you meet somebody, especially here in California.
He earned my vote. I didn't vote for him. He earned my vote.
This time, you didn't vote for him last time?
No, I didn't vote for him last time, but he earned my vote. That's what I told myself. I said, hey, I know Trump's probably going to win. I voted. I did a write-in. Nobody knows the guy, but he would make our world perfect. And then I said, hey, if Trump does some of the stuff he says he's going to do, I'll vote for him next year. And he has. In fact, I feel bad for him because the whole time of trying to care for us, he has these Dems over there playing freaking games, man.
Dude, that's what it is. And here's the other thing. The Republicans don't play those kind of games. So this shit won't get turned on them. If a Democrat does win and takes office, the Republicans aren't going to roll in and do that shit, dude. They're not going to do it.
No Republican's dumb enough to try to fire the boss over a phone call conversation. We're not that dumb, bro. It's just not. I mean, I get it if he does something serious or something, but I mean, he's a human.
Let's say, like, what if he sold 25% of our uranium to Russia?
Yeah. I mean, come on.
That would be pretty serious. Well, Clinton did that. She did it. She brokered a deal on that, dude.
Yeah.
But nothing's said about that shit, dude. Can you imagine if Trump tried to sell 25% of our uranium to Russia? How big of a story that would be, dude?
Oh man, he'd be in the doghouse.
Here's another one.
What if he's not already?
What if Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump
There you go.
went and made a deal with Japan and got $1 billion out of that deal?
Yeah.
What would happen, dude? It would be fucking all over the place.
Oh yeah, dude.
Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, does that, and it's swept under the rug, dude. Like,
well, here I don't know no facts on Junior Biden, but what I got out of my dad, I think apparently he got kicked out of the Navy or something, and he doesn't have any credentials. So
coke. He was doing coke.
Yeah, but that's what I got. He doesn't have very many credentials. So how are you a dishonorably veteran and
discharged,
no credentials at all, and then you just get a job and make millions of dollars? Like,
because of name recognition, bro. Here's my other thing.
Different.
Dude sitting on the Ukrainian energy board, right?
Yeah.
I'll bet you a fucking large extra value meal at McDonald's that this fool doesn't speak Russian or Ukraine. He doesn't speak their language. Yeah. So how are you sitting on a board of a country that you don't even speak the language?
Yeah, you got. They're paying an interpreter and all that stuff.
Right.
But it is what it is. The Dems want to play like they did nothing, then they should drop that whole subject.
Hey, dude, and I'm telling you, Trump, like Ivanka, right, the daughter?
Yeah.
She's balling. She's got all kinds of shit going. All the Trump boys got shit going. And they get name recognition because their dad's president too. So I think it works both ways.
Yeah. One thing I just want to make clear to all the presidents that here is caring for the people and the money second priority. So when I say caring for the people, the health care for the people is going to bring in money that you never seen, that you never envisioned, and all that stuff. It just seems like they say, well, if we put money priority, then we can do that stuff, but there's never enough. The plan to collect this money never comes in. It's never, it never follows, and everybody wonders, well, why? Maybe somebody stole the money. That's a lot of the excuse. Somebody takes the money, whatever. Reality is, if you're not caring for the people, then it's never going to be enough. If you're not caring for God's creature, then it's just things are going to foul up.
I ask people, just do a little homework. Look, when Bill Clinton was in office, we were like $800 million in debt. $800 million. We weren't even $1 trillion in debt, right?
Yeah.
And then by the time George Bush left office, we were $4 trillion in debt, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then when Obama took office, we went up to it was $11 trillion in debt.
Yeah.
And by the time he was done, we're at $20 trillion in debt, dude. So from Bill Clinton to Trump,
Yeah.
we got $20 trillion in debt. Are you living any better?
Yeah, no, I exactly.
Am I living any better, dude?
Exactly. I'm RV person, so I mean, RVing used to be affordable, but now the people are finding out a lot of people are pushing to the RV because it was affordable. So now the cost is going up. It's almost becoming unaffordable to be an RVer. But
well, let's fucking close out Trump. All I gotta say is he's our president.
What up, Trump? Got you, dog.
Get out there and vote. Because the elections
don't come by my house, probably burning one or drinking some beer. So don't bother stopping by. The Dens will get you for it.
All right, what do we got left there, man? Homeless. We want to hit homeless, or you want to do 49er talk?
Well, I wanted to hit this point real quick. Last time I was here, I let the public know that I was a Marine in distress.
Yes,
and it was over because we have an insurance person who shuts off welfare and makes people sick. And when you're a United States Marine, whether you're injured like me, an injured Marine with his face sewn back on, and aren't actively carrying a gun today, or you're a Marine that's actively carrying a gun today to kill for us, when you hear someone in our country is making people sick, it doesn't go over very well. I felt like killing the bastard.
Yeah.
But
that's real talk though, man.
Through good medical care. This is what I'm saying. Through good counselors and good medical care. About 2 weeks ago, I signed paperwork with the federal government to fully investigate it. And I mean, we need it. It's not about tattletelling or whistleblowing. It's more about keeping this punk alive. Because the rat says everybody else does it too. Yeah. So it's hard for a Marine. As a Marine, I just want to kill him because I have proof he's doing it. But when the rat's saying everybody else is doing it, it's hard for me just to kill him because I know I'm not fixing the problem.
So what happens when you're in counseling and you tell them, like, hey, I want to kill this motherfucker?
Well, it's how do I say it? It's okay to have those feelings if it's rendered. Someone raped your daughter. You're going to look the counselor in the eye and say, hey, dude, I want to kill this mofo.
Yeah.
But you talk to them, you let them know I'm not going to drive down Southern California and find the dummy. I mean, my broken cop car ain't catching no sports car for sure. Dude.
Yeah.
But the main thing is I want it fixed. And so I pushed. I lost friends, family, all kinds of stuff over it because I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. But now that I signed papers with the federal government, I want everyone around me to know that no longer do I have the feeling of killing somebody, because the feds say they're going to figure it out and get it fixed. But I'm not going to sit around and let somebody tell me when I say, hey, this guy's making people sick. I got the public telling me that's the way it is. Oh, well, he's got money, he's white. Oh, well, I can't handle that.
Well, what you were saying, these guys play a game, too, where, they try to put families in a hole where they're desperately in need of money or food, and then they try to fucking trick them out of their boat or their RV or whatever
they've done it all, bro. And what sucks is you get a mom or dad hurt at work, and I run into them. They say, I say, how you doing, bro? They say, I'm working this job. I have good benefits, right? They have good benefits. So then they break their arm or their legs, their two legs, they can't go to work. The doctor's got them off work. The employer's begging that they get some kind of welfare. But you have an insurance man who says, you're all lying. The doctor's lying, the employer's lying, the worker's lying. Prove it. So that family could go up to a year with absolutely no food in America coming in regularly. I mean, we have churches and stuff like that, but what I'm saying is that's why that dad's getting up every day and working for his family, because if something happens, they need an EBT card or they need, that type of stuff. And what I found too, the public, they get confused with money. So they'll say, well, they're going to get a settlement. Oh, well, they might get $60,000 in 12 months, but they've gone with no money, no food, no nothing. They're sick now. Yeah. So some of the dads go to prison over it. Some of them murder. Some of them get caught robbing because the family's not eating. All this stuff, all because he got hurt at work. So it's irritating to know that an illegal alien gets food in 3 days, emergency. Unemployed person can go down to the public office and get food in 3 days. but a guy hurt from work on videotape, and the doctor has him off, and the employer agrees that he got injured at work, and he's got to go a year no food. That doesn't make sense, man.
I just went through the process too. It's been 5 months, dude. I didn't get his check, dude.
Yeah.
Not from PG&E, not from the state. When they did, like 3 months in, I got a little something from PG&E. A month later, I got a little something from the state.
My personal opinion.
You know, your credit gets hit, dude. Your fucking bills stack up.
Food,
So
you got to buy food.
if I didn't have my old lady, I wouldn't have made it through it, man.
That's why I say welfare is not finances; it's food. Because when it ultimately comes down to it, whether you lose your house, whatever, you still got to have food coming in. And
see, that's some terminology I think people don't understand too. When you say food, you're saying that's money,
EBT card.
Yeah, money. That's also housing.
Well, I'm not
electricity.
saying all that. I'm saying if you get hurt, it's not their obligation to keep up your house.
Yeah.
But food is an obligation here because you've been working, paying the army constantly. You go down, you need to have some. Me personally, I think you shouldn't get any kind of settlement when you get hurt at work. I've studied it. I've been through it. When I got hurt, they gave me an EBT card right there, it would have been over with. I would still have my retirement. But when you realize that, hey, dude, it's been 6 months and I don't have anything coming in, my kid's not eating right, you're not bathing the same, you're skipping showers because you ain't got soap, you're stealing toilet paper from McDonald's, all the stuff, then all because you got hurt working, then why be a working American? If you're just going to be a big piece of poop, then why be a working American?
It's you're either an asset or a burden, dude, and they need to help out the assets.
And if we had, like I said, health care, when I got hurt at work, and my employer told me to go to the doctor, and the doctor said, I can't see you because insurance says you're a liar. So I was denied medical, care.
Yeah.
I went straight to my veterans benefits. I have full American veteran benefits, and I can use it at any time. But it is what it is. Like, I was a veteran, I got lucky, but another dad who was told that can't just go down to the veteran office and get his arm seen. He has to lay in bed, depressed, never took drugs before, so now they got him on oxycodone, ready to kill himself. And it's a sad situation.
It's a cycle, man, and it's a cycle.
It's a sad situation. It's poor leadership is all it is.
We're over, man, so let's start this thing.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming in doing the show, Jay.
49ers, what's up? Let's do it. Keep it up, baby.
We'll find out Monday, man.
Come on, stay strong. Yeah. Yeah.